In this and the next exercise, we're going to be developing a to-do list using the techniques we've learned about file processing and text file processing. In this exercise, we're going to create 3 of the 5 methods that we need, 3 of the easier ones, and then in the next exercise, we'll build the last 2. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need is a variable that has global scope to represent the file name. So we're going to write that in first, and we'll call that file todo.txt. And so notice by putting it above or outside of static void main, I'm making it global. What we say is that this variable has class scope, and we're going to talk more about scope in the next chapter. But for now, just recognize that by putting this variable declaration right here, any of the methods that we create for the program will have access to its value. So let's go ahead and write the main program next. Even though I don't have all the methods defined, we can still go ahead and start at the top level. We'll have a lot of error messages, but that's okay. The way the program is going to work is we're going to display a menu that we'll create in just a moment, and then loop over waiting to get items from that menu. There's the menu method right there. It's going to have an error under it until we define it, which we'll do soon. And then we'll write a switch statement over menu item. We'll run different methods depending on the value that's returned from the menu method. So this kind of gives you a little foreshadowing of the methods we're going to be creating. And that's just a break because it doesn't do anything. And then our default is to write out don't recognize input. Break, close the switch. Okay, so that's the main method. Now let's go ahead and write the menu method. And this returns an int, this choice that we make. We have a variable for the choice that the user makes from the menu. We'll have a console write line that says main menu. We want an extra line after that, a new line character there. Then our first choice, or actually 0 choice, is exit the program. Next is display to-do list. Next is add item. Probably don't need to write all that out, but I will. Let me scroll the window up a little bit. And then remove item from to-do list. And then a blank line. Then another prompt, console.write. Enter your choice. That's our prompt, enter a choice. Choice equals convert to int 32. Console read line. And then return choice. So that's the menu method. Let's write one more method before we close out this exercise. Let's write the show list method. We're going to put a couple of blank lines in here to make sure we have some spacing. Now we need to create a stream reader object. Checking to see why that's an error. Let's take this, move it outside the class into the main area. It's not going to work there. So let's put it back here. Let's set it public. Now, yes, that fixed the problem. Stream reader errors because the IntelliSense did not pick up stream, capital T. A lot of times it fixes that for you, and it's still not picking it all up. So let's add this, and then I know what else we need to add. Come back to your main program and add system IO. So again, I'm not editing these out primarily because you will have to deal with these kinds of errors in your programs. So hopefully by watching me fix these things, you'll understand how to fix them when you come across them in your own programs. Okay, now we're set to go. We need a variable to store each line of the to-do list. We're going to number the items implicitly, so we're going to use a variable for that. And then we're going to say while infile.peak not equal to -1, line equals infile read line. Write out the number plus a blank space. and write out the item and then increment number by 1. And we need the numbering so that we can know how to delete an item. We're going to delete by a number. So that's why the numbering is there. And when we get to the remove item, we're going to just use the show list method with the numbering so that we'll be able to delete a specific item. Now let's write another blank line. And the blank lines may be an issue. We may have to come back and fix some of those and close the file. And that should be it. So we're going to stop at this point for this exercise and continue in the next exercise with the other 2 harder methods to write. And at that time, we'll be able to test this program to see if it works, because so far, menu and show list have been defined, but we still need add item and remove item. And we'll get those in the next exercise.